Hi, this is Tim with geartrail.com. Today we're going to do a quick review of the Vargo Decagon Titanium Alcohol Stove. It's a nice little stove, weighs less than 2 ounces. It's great for backpacking. We're going to give it a try, let you know how it works out. First off, I'd like to thank Brian Vargo of vargooutdoors.com for sending us this stove for testing and evaluation. If you look on the back of the spec sheet here, they're showing the weight as 1.2 ounces. Let's come over here to our digital postal scale. Zero this out. We're coming in at a hefty 1.3 ounces. So 0.1 ounces difference in the packaging to what we show on this scale. So that's not too bad. We'll get on with the fueling and show you how it burns. Brian Vargo sent us a bottle to use for dispensing the alcohol. It has 1 ounce markers on this, which come in handy because basically it's 1 ounce per fueling on this stove. Uses just standard denatured alcohol, can be picked up at any hardware store, sporting goods store. They've got it there. Just pick that up and fill up your bottles and you're ready to go. One of the most important things here is the amount of fuel that you put in. You want to make sure that it is full. You want this all the way to the top. It's very important for the priming of the stove. If it's not all the way full, it won't prime properly and won't burn properly at its highest output level. As you put fuel in, you can see that it will slowly drop down as it fills the reservoir. So we'll put just a little bit more in. Make sure that we got the maximum burn here. Actually, we've spilled just a little bit. And there is the reason this is only a stove to be used outdoors. You do not want to use this in a tent or in your house. A little bit of spilling of the alcohol can really cause you a problem. Very easy to light. I'm just going to use a striker, won't even use matches. Alcohol burns very clean. Sometimes you can barely see the flame. So you want to definitely run your hand across if you need to make sure that there's a flame going. You do not want to try to fill this stove while there's a flame burning on there with the alcohol. That flame can jump right back up into the bottle and explode, causing really a lot of damage. So you can see it's priming fairly quickly here, especially since I spilled a little bit of alcohol on the outside edge. Usually it takes about 15 to 45 seconds for this stove to prime. While it's priming and getting fired up there, we have basically a titanium cup, 750 milliliters. We're going to put 2 cups of water in here. See how long it takes for us to boil that. The temperature in this test facility right now is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The water is room temperature in here, so it's also about 40 degrees. So we've got 2 cups of water. We'll put it on the stove. See how long it takes for us to get our water boiling. Couple items to note on this stove. It can be well, there is no adjustment, so the flame is on or off. Another thing is, if there's wind, the wind can blow the flame out. It takes a pretty good strong wind gust, but it can be done. As such, you might want to consider using a windscreen. I built a windscreen like this one, just out of aluminum flashing that can be purchased at any hardware store. Cut some notches in the bottom to allow airflow in, maybe even a couple notches on the side here, which allows you to hook it together. Put it around your stove. The length of your windscreen is determined by the size of your pot. But it's nice and easy to make. Roll it up, stick it inside the pot for storage. Works great. Cheap alternative for buying stuff at the store. The stove uses 1 ounce of fuel for each filling. That 1 ounce will burn for approximately 15 minutes. So based on our test here, that's going to let us know how many cups of water we can boil with one filling of the stove. 2 cups of water is kind of a standard for a lot of the backpacking meals, the dehydrated meals that you get. So that's what we chose for this test right here. So it looks like we're right at 5 minutes. And let's see how our boiling is going. You see we've got the water is boiling in there. And at 5 minutes, that's not too bad for this titanium stove. Well, I'm fogging my lens up there. So there you go. Let's see it get unfogged. 5 minutes basically to a full rolling boil. The Vargo Outdoors.com Decagon Alcohol Stove. Titanium, lightweight, no moving parts. We're going to take this out in the field and give it a try in various conditions and let you know how that works also. So there's a quick review of the Decagon Titanium Alcohol Stove. We had consistent boil times of 5 minutes for 2 cups of water. What I have read in various blogs is people have had some trouble with this stove. Basically, it's not priming properly. That occurs when you do not fill the alcohol to the top. You have to ensure when you're first filling the stove with alcohol that the fuel is all the way to the top. That way it will prime properly and you'll get maximum heat output. Never try to add alcohol to this stove when it's hot or while it's lit. Hope you enjoyed these tips, and this is Tim. We'll see you out on the trail.